Hello, welcome back. Today's work is going to focus on our sacral chakra. Our sacral chakra is that space kind of right below our belly button area. We can go ahead and bring our hands gently there now and just let them rest there gently and start to get kind of familiar with that space. And let us begin by coming together and just taking a couple of deep breaths. Centering our energy. And one more. Good. So our sacral chakra is where our creativity comes from. It is also the home of our emotions. So the element associated with this space is water. And I think that element is super powerful because as it relates to our emotions, it's so important for us to let our emotions flow through us rather than kind of get stuck within us. Because when we're experiencing challenging situations in life, what happens is different emotions will come and they'll flow similarly to waves. But if we get really kind of stuck in the emotion by either not validating it or not honoring it, then it can kind of, it can fester inside and get stagnant. And that's where we start to feel a lot of tension in different body parts. So maybe in your lower abdomen or in your chest or in your throat, you might be storing these emotional experiences rather than letting them flow through your body. So I want to validate for you that whatever emotions you've been experiencing as we've been going through this pandemic, that they are okay, that they're valid. It is normal for you to be feeling some of the energy of what's happening around us, and maybe you've experienced some sadness at times, some grief at times, grieving the old normal, or grieving your job, or this sense of vulnerability that you feel, or grieving the sickness of a loved one, or the death of a loved one, or grieving missing school, or that you're not going to be able to have the wedding that you planned, right? There's all of these changes that have happened so abruptly, and with those changes, there can come a lot of emotional states. So I want to give you permission to just allow yourself to feel whatever feelings are coming up, and that you don't have to get stuck in them, but rather that they can flow through you, okay? So that is our work today. It's going to be about allowing our feelings to flow through us, and at the same time to also kind of acknowledge our thoughts and let our thoughts keep flowing. That we don't have to get stuck on a thought and turn it into a whole story, but rather we can let them flow through us as well. So let's begin. We're going to come back to our breath. And what I'm going to do is, I went on a hike yesterday and there was this really pretty river, and we decided to stop and take a video of it for a minute. And it kind of brought to me this idea of letting our feelings and letting our thoughts flow, just like with the flow of water. Because when we allow that to happen, we can move through it with more ease. So we're going to breathe and get kind of connected to our sacral chakra, our emotional center of our body. And I'm going to put on in the background that video of the river streaming. And I'd like you to just kind of, if you want to watch it, that's okay. If you want to just listen to the sound of the water, that's okay. But as you're taking it in and meditating on it, I want you to let the emotions that you've been feeling come to the surface and imagine them streaming and flowing away in the river. After we do our emotions, we'll do our thoughts, whatever thoughts you've been having as we've been going through this challenging time. The thoughts that bring you worry or fear, you know what? Let them flow away in the river too. So the river is becoming this safe space and container that has the power to hold our emotions and our thoughts for us and to allow them to flow. Okay, so let's begin. We'll take a couple deep breaths first, getting into that space. And just imagine as you listen to the water, the emotions that you've been experiencing flowing through you and becoming one with the water. So allow any sadness to flow and go in the water, any fear, any joy, any worry, giving your feelings permission to be and to flow. You don't have to deny them. You don't have to hold on to them. You can just let them be and let them flow. And breathe that in, that permission to let your feelings be and flow. I also want you to allow yourself to put any thoughts that you don't want to hold on to into the river. And imagine them floating by, moving on. Thoughts of worry, thoughts of fear, thoughts of uncertainty. Letting them flow away, visualizing the river taking them. And just being with your breath and in your body. Knowing that your emotions can flow and your thoughts can flow. And there's no judgment for any of them. And again, you can put your hands lightly on that space below your belly button. Just breathe that in, that permission. The validation of your emotions. And the ability to let them flow through you, flow into the river. To let your thoughts flow into the river. So I want to encourage you, as an emotion comes up, to recognize it, to name it, and to drop down into the center. Breathe into the center, send it love, and give it permission to flow into the river. As a fearful thought comes up, recognize it, name it, and give it permission to flow into the river. sending so much love. Let's send so much love and strength to all of the women, the brave women out there that are going to be delivering their children soon, possibly without their partner by their side. Let's send them so much love and strength. It's coming from B too. And to all of you, this is my energetic hug. May you feel it coming through, sending you love and reminders to be good to yourself and good to everyone else. See you tomorrow.